This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 985, and it's a Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
All right. It is a good show. I'm excited about this. One of my favorite artists is joining us today. James Vincent McMorrow is coming up. He is in the summer digital issue of Relevant, but we have part of that conversation on the show here today. Don't miss it. Stay tuned for that. I'm excited. I've been a fan of his for a while. You know what's cool about this week right now? When this is out, Jamie, you're officially coming back to work, right? Like if you
I'm back to work.
If we just email you about the show, we get her out of office. You're on sabbatical until late July.
Yeah.
How has it been? First of all, thank you for doing the show while you're on your sabbatical. But how has it been for you? Has it been what you wanted?
Listen, the reason I'm doing Relevant is because I went back and forth and I was like, man, my person who kind of runs my company, she's going to kill me if I said yes to this. But I convinced myself that this isn't work. This is like hanging out with friends. And that's why I'm doing this. It's been awesome. My last day was like May 23rd and I go back July, I don't know, like the next Monday, whatever that is when we're recording. It's been really good. I'm telling you, I really miss working. And Cameron, I know you took a sabbatical like a year and a half ago. I miss working. I feel like I have FOMO for my whole team. I'm like, what are they doing? How much fun are they having? What are they planning? I miss doing what I do, but I also have really enjoyed just being at home. But, you know, we were in Italy for 30 days. And so I've been home for 3 weeks.
The difference between our sabbaticals was that mine was unplanned and my life was falling apart.
It was kind of forced.
You got to choose a sabbatical. Yeah,
that is so true. That is so
Go to
true.
Italy.
Yeah, I was just trying to like
survive.
Yeah, I was trying to get through it.
Jamie, let me ask, in your non-travel time of the sabbatical, what does a sabbatical day look like? Like, are you like doing like, you know, readings of
no.
or are you just kinda,
let me just tell you. So when we got back from Italy, I realized I've got to get my body back because we just spent 30 days in Italy, all the things. So since July 1st, I've been working out like a lot. I walk every day. Today I walked 4 miles.
Wow.
So I've been doing that. Aaron and I spent 2 days laying on the couch watching Breaking Bad.
Nice.
We started July 2nd. We are going to finish season 3 today. And I have organized a couple of rooms. I redid my daughter's room while she's at camp, cleaned out the laundry. So just like a lot of just getting things done, sleeping late. It's just been great.
Those sound pretty great.
Reading a lot of books.
Have you not seen Breaking Bad?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, wow. Well,
I know. So it's our first time.
Now you got Better Call Saul.
That's what we're going to do next. I know. Yeah.
Which I think is a better series. But
Whoa, you think Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad?
People are saying that.
I think it becomes better. Like I think around season 3 of Better Call Saul starts really slow.
Bruh,
Like
I watched half of the first season and I was like, get me out of here.
Did you like Breaking Bad though, Derek?
I loved Breaking Bad.
Oh man.
But I literally watched Better Call Saul like right after Breaking Bad ended. And so I think I might have been
That's what we're going to do.
Breaking Bad is so good. Like my expectations might have been too high. You know what I mean? So maybe it might be good for me to come back because I need a new show and kind of peep it out.
They spend a lot of time in the world of elder law, which isn't the most thrilling when you've just watched like
what is that?
Biker gangs and cartel members and shootouts.
Right.
But you know, because the first couple seasons, I mean, it's pretty much, you know, him trying to get a settlement for, you know, people who, you know, elderly people getting ripped off at a nursing home.
That's a little different than what we're watching right now.
But it evolves because they have to show how this like lawyer became, you know, the Jimmy McGill, this kind of hard working lawyer becomes Saul Goodman, the kind of criminal.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't happen overnight. You have to believe it, and it takes time. But see, Breaking Bad, like when they started it, the plan for that show was that it was going to be a black comedy. It was going to be a dark comedy. And that's why they cast Malcolm's dad as the lead character. They thought it was going to be like this, like Barry, you know, as like a dark comedy. And then they figured out like what they had. And they turned it into one of the best dramas ever made, and they left it behind. You can see the shift. It's an interesting evolution. But the knock for me on Breaking Bad is that they cast some of the characters, some of the wives or sisters or whatever, for this other kind of show. And then those actors were stuck with this other prestige show that I think they were not equipped for. But Cranston and Aaron Paul, I mean, just obviously crushed it. And all the new characters they add, unbelievable. But it was just an interesting thing where they have this tension of they were transitioning from one type of television to another.
That's interesting.
But Better Call Saul knew what it was from day one, because it started, after they, because nothing ends. I mean, the end of Breaking Bad, it culminates as one of the best shows ever made.
Yeah.
But I think Better Call Saul stands on the shoulders of giants and starts from there. And where they're escalating towards, I think I agree with Jesse that it's surpassing what Breaking Bad even did. It's unbelievable right now. The second half of the current season just started this week, and it's like unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, also, what Breaking Bad is doing for us is on our nightly walks to take our dogs around the neighborhood, we're figuring out who might be doing meth in our neighborhood. We're checking out the houses, saying, could they?
Come to Florida. Come to Florida. Throw a rock. That's all you need.
You'll find to proactively call the police.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to, we're having deep marital conversations of, would I stay if you were doing meth? Those kind of things. And, it's bringing a lot of things up in this sabbatical time of watching Breaking Bad.
Like your husband's like, hypothetically, I know you'll be doing a room tomorrow. If you find pallets of cash in the wall, just hypothetically, I want to know what your reaction would be.
Yeah. We've had the conversation. Don't worry. Yep.
Yeah.
And
my wife was like, I started watching it, and then she was like, "No, I'm not doing this." Like it got so intense that she was like, Breaking Bad, she was like, "No, I'm not doing this." So she would like fly in every now and again, like when a drug dealer is like being chained to a wall or something. She's like, "Okay, I'll leave, and you could just catch me up."
There was literally an episode. I walked onto the front porch and walked from outside of the window because it was so intense. I could not be in the room.
It's intense.
It was when they had the guy out there and he was with the grandpa that was ringing the bell, and Hank showed up. I don't know if you remember all that.
Yeah.
In I had to watch outside. I can't be in the room.
It's a lot.
So,
just wait. You're gonna be basically outside of your house, like peeking in the window. That's how.
Just bring a chair for the rest of it. Just bring a chair, put it on the porch, just watch from outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, well, moving the show along. Stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
I'll be on my way to you. I wanna feel like I'm supposed to. Sending shivers down my spine, mama, beg you on my mind. Get away in the morning blue, but I can't get over you. I can feel the tension running through my veins. Oh, I've been feeding myself to the flame. If I pay close,
you're listening to Giant Rooks. The song is Morning Blue. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, this is incredible news that I'm bringing to everyone. That the Olympics are coming to Los Angeles in 2028. That's been established. But the International Olympic Committee wants to debut a new event when we get there, setting the stage for what I think is just going to be a fantastic Olympics to come.
Pickleball.
So I think pickleball is actually coming. I did read that.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's some kind of pickleball, but that's not the slice.
Okay,
someone's going to have to fact check that. but when reading this, I did see pickleball somewhere. So let's just assume it's the new opening ceremonies game. Just a big global pickleball. The Olympics are now just a global pickleball tournament at the rec center. This year's Olympics are being hosted by the Crestwood Rec Center. Yeah, pickleball
on the cruise I was on last month, we were eating lunch above the sports court, and right out the window they were having a pickleball tournament, and there is nothing more awkward than watching old people shuffle around trying to play pickleball. It's like I feel like they're going to keel over and die, man. Anyway.
I feel like, Jesse, aren't you the one who's like always thinks if you just trained for like a month nonstop, you could be an Olympian?
3 months.
I feel like,
90
3
days.
months.
90 days. Give me 90 days for like a target. But the stipulation is got to be it's got to be a sport that, I'm not going to be like, it doesn't have like physical prohibitions. Like I probably couldn't be like a sprinter or a long jumper or something like that. It has to be like a target sport type of situation.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I think pickleball is going to be for all of America. Everyone's going to be like, I could totally do that. Like I could play pickleball in the Olympics. Everyone will be saying that.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
Well, I'm excited about potential pickleball, and another sport that's coming is breakdancing is coming to Paris, the Parisian Olympics, competitive breakdancing in 2024. But in Los Angeles, they are getting ready to add ninjaing. That's not what they're calling it, but basically they've partnered with the people who does like American Ninja Warrior, the TV show, which are just awesome obstacle courses, and they are going to add an obstacle portion to the pentathlon, which is a 5-event race.
Very hard.
So they're going to replace one of the pentathlon events with an obstacle course, preparing the way for American Ninja Warrior courses to be its own standalone event. But I love this story because the pentathlon right now, I bet I'm just going to throw it out there right now. The pentathlon is meant to be like to gauge how well-rounded of an athlete you are. Can anyone name the 5 events in the modern pentathlon?
They run. They jump over that thing and land in the water. Oh, that's during the running.
Yep.
I bet they throw. No, I guess I can't. They throw something.
Swimming.
The long jump.
One?
They do the long jump. They throw a javelin.
Swimming. Swimming. This is like, I don't know. This is like, it sounds like basically you're training a medieval knight because it's swimming, running, fencing, shooting, and show jumping.
I would have never guessed any of those.
With a horse.
Oh, show jumping with a horse?
That's right. So they're going to eliminate the show jumping. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, they're going to eliminate the show jumping and replace it with the American Ninja Warrior course, which
I feel like that's going to attract a totally different type of athlete. Athletes are like, I'm not going to sign up for that because there's like that horse part now. Yeah.
But it's like, I want to be a pentathlete. I don't have access to a show horse. It is a little prohibitive to people who want to get into the pentathlon. Also, I was thinking about this too. I was reading this slice, and it's like the horse thing is the obvious one to eliminate. Shouldn't horses just have their own sports? Like, why do we need involved? Why do we need a rider for the show jump or for horse racing? Greyhounds just run. We don't have little jockeys on them. Okay. They're fine just running around. Why don't we just have horse sports, people sports, dog sports? Why are we combining horse and people? Just have a horse sport. Have a horse race with no riders, or have them go show jump. Why should I be? It makes no sense. Let's have our own.
You're
horse
saying we
Olympics.
don't need jockeys.
We don't need jockeys. We don't need show jumpers. We need just the horses. If you want to have a horse Olympics,
would they do it?
No, I think you do need somebody to steer the horse. Like
you can train dogs The horse seems just as smart as a dog to me. Dogs, you ever watch Westminster? They're jumping around doing hoops and
They're
stuff.
led on a leash.
That's true. They have a little
They
person
run their
walking
own
next
races.
to them.
They run their own races.
They do run the obstacle
that's
course.
true.
But they have the trainer barking out orders and stuff. No pun intended.
All I'm saying is while we're relitigating the role of horses in the Olympic Games and wisely replacing it with American Ninja Warrior, let's just go ahead and start a horse Olympics because
Horse Olympics.
we don't need them in the People Olympics. It's People Olympics.
The
Okay?
People Olympics.
What? There's no other animal involved in the Olympics except for show horses. It makes no sense.
Oh, that's true.
Why don't every event have a random animal involved? It makes zero sense.
I think just like maybe the Olympic Committee saw how low the viewerships have been recently, and they thought, "What are we going to do to get more people to watch the Olympics?"
I'm not gonna
partner
lie.
with American Ninja Warriors.
I'd watch that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, because American Ninja Warrior is dope. I don't care what nobody say. I enjoy watching that show.
Yeah.
Like it pushes people to their limits. Like they gotta think of stuff on the fly. Like, you got I like it, man.
What do you think about this competitive breakdancing being added though? Like it's
that's odd.
It's a weird
That's
appropriation of hip hop culture. I mean, the purpose of it is not, I'm going to wear some sort of like country uniform and like do technical. It's just so strange that
I just want to watch Sweden do the breakdancing competition.
Yeah.
I want to watch all of the white people do it. That's going to be my fun.
It feels weird to me. And I'm going to be careful here. Would a break dancer consider that their sport? Does it make sense what I'm saying?
I think it's an art.
Okay, so that's why I'm wondering, like Olympics.
Well, with the Olympics, they have a lot of art, though. Think about the gymnastic dance thing with the ribbons and stuff. Like, there's no sport in that. It's like about beauty. It's about the artistry. So I think it falls under that category.
Guys, listen. Black people have been appropriated for so long that it's like we're not even like tripping. It's just like, all right, we're going to watch the white people break dance. Like, let's do it. Like, it's not even nothing to be to me. Maybe it's not black people because I'm not the spokesperson for all black people. But I know for myself, I'm just like, right. I know for myself, I'm like, look, man, it is what it is. We make really, really dope stuff, and then everybody wants to do it. So it's cool. It is what it is.
I don't think it's Sweden that'll do well. I think, but where's hip hop culture huge? A lot of the Asian countries.
Oh, they're going to kill it. They're going to. My Asian brothers and sisters going to kill it.
I'm just glad
every time.
I'm just glad it's like its own. The competition is breakdancing. It's not breakdancing in the middle of another competition. It's like with the gymnastics.
Like
are you back to the horses again? Are you trying to get?
I've already solved that with the horse Olympics.
Okay. The horse Olympics.
I'm talking about like the gymnastics one where they go do a bunch of flips and then it's like between the moves which they're being scored on, they have to dance.
Yeah.
Like
the rhythmic gymnastics is what you're talking about, where they literally have to do dance moves and then they do the flip and then they do dance moves.
Just do the flips in one competition, do the dance in one. Like I don't know why we're combining these.
Yeah.
They're overcomplicating. I'm not here to see the dancing. I'm here to see someone do like 4 flips in the air and land it. Like it's not like they're doing the gritty, like celebrating the sweet flip they just landed. Like if I landed a flip, I'd probably dance, but it wouldn't be like that. Yeah, it would be celebratory. It'd be end zone style. Goodness. Anyway,
so after the real Olympics is over, they have all the facilities. Usually about a week later, they'll do the Special Olympics. So now you're advocating that the next week after that, they'll do the Horse Olympics. Are there any other specified Olympics that we should be advocating for, except for, are you just going to stop at the Horse Olympics, or do we need to have other Special Olympics?
I mean, if we're really going to talk about this, let's go there. Yeah. Because I mean, they're kind of biased with their seasons. Why do only 2 of the 4 get their Olympics? Okay,
oh my gosh.
I'd love to see a fall Olympics.
Spring Olympics.
We have the summer, we have the winter. Why not have fall? Have some pumpkin carving in there. Like have hayride races. Have hayride races. Straight up hayride races. Okay. For that sake, why not do
bobbing?
Look, we're doing ninja. We're doing ninjas.
Races.
We're doing ninjas in the summer. Why don't we just do a costume contest for Halloween? Straight up
Olympics as a costume contest.
Like, why are we doing summer and winter? There's a lot of things.
Yeah, you should be on the committee. You should bring this up.
I mean, I've sent them numerous emails about a horse Olympics, and can you imagine just horses from every country? It'd be beautiful. Like the opening ceremony, it's just a long montage. I mean, they're basically walking into like a corral, which would be like the stadium, which is a big corral. Yeah. But it's horses from every country while music is playing.
They all look alike, though.
It's beautiful. The humans could learn a lot.
Oh my God.
Now, I will say this. You got to be careful about stampede. Someone left the gate open. Horse Olympics have turned tragic.
Oh, gosh.
They're stampeding through the streets of Luxembourg.
All right, Jamie, what do you have?
Okay, I got a great feel-good story for us. You guys, I don't know where you live, but in a lot of places, there are a shortage of workers. Everyone feeling this, shortage of workers? Yep. Well, a lot of things that have happened around the country are a shortage of lifeguards. All right? Anyone here grow up going to their little city pool and spending hours there all day? Yes? Anyone?
Jesse was that person. He was that lifeguard.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Jesse, this story might inspire you because a Pennsylvania grandmother has come out of retirement at the age of 70 to go back to a lifeguarding job. She said the kids need it. There are pools shutting down left and right where she lived in Pennsylvania. 65 pools in their city, in Philadelphia are open. Lots are closed. So she said, you know what? These kids, they don't have any place to go. She knows what it's like living in her neighborhood. So she went back and became a lifeguard again. She was a lifeguard when she was 16. She's 70 years old. And so now she's committed to the kids in her neighborhood and she is a lifeguard.
What's up, bro?
I love it. I love it.
So I love, and that the story is two things. Number one, you're never too old to give back to your community.
Right.
She's 70.
Right.
And number two, the other moral of the story.
Yeah.
It's coming to me. I had it. Is I lost it. But you know what, guys? You're never too old to give back to your community.
Horse Olympics. Number two.
You know who would make great lifeguards?
Horses.
They could just jump in and you just get on their back and then they'll just walk right out.
A lot of people don't know. They're actually fantastic.
That's true.
Horses. That's real talk. Real talk.
All right, Derek.
All right, what do you have? Pull us out of this.
All right. Well, I don't know how Jesse's going to bring a horse into this.
I've seen videos of horse diving off a high dive before. Okay. Real quick. I have literally seen videos back in the 1920s. People used to do it at Coney Island. They just jump a horse off a huge high dive, and it seemed like the horse loved it.
Sure.
And it was like the biggest thing to do in 1925 in Coney Island.
Gosh.
Why can't we bring that to the Olympics? Horse high dive. I mean, there's so many events, guys.
Yeah.
You know who's not going for this?
I'm a pass.
What is it? PETA? What are they called?
PETA,
They're not going. PETA's not going for this.
No, horses will love it. Horses will love it. They live for this. Horses, if you leave them to their own devices, they're running around, just goofing around all day. I'm serious. You ever seen horses in the wild? All they do is run around.
I watch Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem pretty
How did
content.
Yellowstone get snubbed for the Emmys? Not one nomination.
Really?
Not one. I'm
They
ticked.
hating on Yellowstone.
I love Yellowstone. All right, what do you have, Derek?
Creflo Dollar apologized and said his teaching on tithing was wrong.
That I am beyond shocked about this story. This is crazy.
I'm not.
What did he say?
He just said tithing was never meant for. He's like tithing in a sense. Hold on, let me read the article. But in a sense, what he said was just tithing is like you're not bound to tithe to the church. Like it's not a sin if you don't tithe. Like tithing was meant to take
the message of giving, like tithing, to then be blessed financially by God.
Prosperity stuff.
The prosperity gospel he's been teaching is what my understanding was that's what he was recanting, saying that I no longer believe it.
The idea of the prosperity gospel is, hey, if you take care of God's church, he'll take care of you.
Right.
And he blesses you for blessing the church. Right. So the idea in what he's saying is if you don't do that, you'll be cursed, in a sense, sin, right? You're missing the mark. So therefore, in a sense, that's what's being said is like, nah, I was wrong. he literally said you could throw all my books away on tithing from the past. So I thought it was dope. And I think this, like, I mean, people are going to nitpick this because obviously the prosperity gospel is a hot button topic, and, you know, religion, Christians are not looking too good lately, but I think it's dope to watch somebody say something that's been so centered to their ministry to say, I got it wrong. Right. I think that's dope. So I just want to give a shout out regardless of how you feel about it, because I've seen people kind of nitpick it and rip it apart or whatever. But I think that it's great that a person of his stature, because he easily could have just kept teaching what he was teaching because he's benefiting from it. But he said, you know what? Nah, I want to tell people that, you know, I was wrong in this area. I think we should model that more in Christianity in general.
Yeah, I went to Oral Roberts University, which is the buckle of the prosperity gospel belt, and he was our commencement speaker. Creflo Dollar spoke at our graduation, and I just remember I was so troubled by that pervasive message of if you believe enough, God will heal you. If you give enough, God will pay it back to you tenfold. And it was a transaction faith, and it was just like that thing of like, I'm not going to give to God to get. Like, I feel like that is such a wrong heart to have, you know? It's like, I want to give because I can't outgive God, you know? Like, God will bless you, but I'm not giving for the purpose of receiving. I'm giving because that's what my heart wants to do, is to bless the church and bless others, right? I mean,
so let me qualify this by saying I am not a proponent of the prosperity gospel, but you also have to remember you grew up rich and white. So the reason when you look at the prosperity gospel, why it's so powerful or why it has such a hold on minority communities, because most of those communities are minority and poor. So their only hope is for God to bring something through for them, to pay the rent, to pay whatever. So for a lot of people, for better or for worse, their idea is, well, listen, I can either pay my rent or I can pay my tithes. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take care of God's house because God is going to take care of me. Right. So I think for a lot of people, like, I'm, again, not a proponent of the prosperity gospel. Don't think that the gospel works in that way. But you also have to see that it's not for people that are broke and they're like, man, my only hope is God. Like, if to pay this rent, to pay this mortgage, to pay this or that, yeah, I need God to come through for me. So I'm hoping that if I take care of what he has, then he'll take care of what I have. Most of the people I grew up with, that's their perspective. It's not, let me hit the lottery. It's really, I'm in a really, really rough situation. I don't really have anything. So all I have is God. So again, but I'm a proponent of that. We need to have the churches going into these neighborhoods and making sure we teach people how to balance their checkbook, how to grow their wealth, to know that stuff is not necessarily you don't have to depend on God to manage your 401k. You don't have to depend on God to manage your Roth IRA. You just need education, right? But for someone that's uneducated, don't have a lot of help, they're like, yo, I'm gonna get my last $100 in hopes that God will help me because I need. And the thing about it, we could say like, hey, you know, don't like. And this is not pushback, but just I think sometimes we could be so anti something that we overlook the fact that the gospel does. I mean, the Bible does say a person that comes to God and is wavering in their faith need not ask because they won't receive. But when you have the money to go get everything that you can get, you don't really have to use your faith as much. But for somebody that don't have any insurance, their mama's sick, and it's like, man, I need a miracle right now. I'm believing their faith. God hears their faith and he does something in many situations. Right. So I think we got to also find the balance, but I just wanted to push back just a little bit in that sense to give, because I know a lot of people that listen to the show have the vantage point of, you know, privilege and why would people believe this nonsense? But just giving some context for people to understand why, especially in minority communities, why the prosperity gospel has went rampant And it's really kind of, where the
That's
heart
good,
comes
Derek.
from.
It's good. You're connecting some dots for me because my parents started Charisma Magazine, which was the
Right.
platform for that message, right? But they both came from ministry families that struggled. And when I was young, I mean, my parents were working multiple jobs and struggling. And I mean, if you know Orlando, South OBT is where we lived, strip clubs down this block. It was not a good area at all. And then like through the church that we went to, my dad was like starting, this magazine. He had multiple jobs anyway. And so like, I'm interested that maybe out of that struggle is kind of almost why they latched on to that theology as well, as they kind of grew and built things, like God's blessing it. And it's almost the same reason of what you're talking about. That's interesting. But I grew up the whole gamut economically,
right?
Saw the change in them over 20 years, but yeah, that's really interesting, man.
It'd be interesting to see just like statistically what financial bracket gives the most to
it's the low,
these type
low
of organization,
income.
right?
It's old people, fixed incomes, no question. No question.
Which is why the prosperity gospel, why a lot of these preachers are so predatory, right? Because you're looking. I remember watching this. I wrote a song back when I wrote my album called Minorville called "Gimme," and it was really about this topic. And what spawned it was I was in New York, and it was like 2 a.m. We just got back from a show, watching some TV to calm down. And I saw a ad with this dude named Peter Popoff. Now I go look at Peter Popoff and I found out that Peter Popoff went to jail or something because he was giving prophecies. They were fake prophecies. His wife was going around getting people's information, right? And he goes to jail for this. Well, I look in Peter Popoff's audience and it's all black people. He's this white guy with slick back hair, but it's all black people. And you could tell that they're bringing their widow's mite. And it's like, he's like, yeah, I called Peter, and it was literally like an infomercial. Like, I called Peter, he sent me this magic spring water, and I got a check in the mail for $1,000. And then I did this and that. And you see these, what my homeboy would call them, hucksters, taking advantage of a lot of poor people because they are believing God for a miracle. And these guys are just wringing them dry. So that's why I think the Creflo apology is so important to talk about, because regardless of, and in Revelation, we can't schedule when someone gets revelation. Somebody could get revelation in a year. It could take them 20 years. I don't know when he got this revelation, but the fact that a person of this stature is able to say, nah, I was wrong for this. Like, I think that's something that should be applauded, But a lot of these people take advantage of low income, fixed income people to buy new jets and new cars and all those different things,
I wonder if this will make any difference in that world, because Creflo was, on the Mount Rushmore of prosperity gospel preachers. I mean,
my mom told me that somebody just tried to refute him. So it's going to cause a rift for sure. I forgot who the guy is. She knows all of the charismatic preachers. My mom, but she's, my mom is super, she cold with it, but she was like, yeah, I'm with Creflo. And then she said, yeah, this one guy, he's out here still trying to take advantage of people. I'm like, get him, mama. She'll be on his Facebook page tonight. So
good.
Keyboard warriors.
Letting them know what's going on.
Just like Jesse's on the Olympic Committee's Facebook page, telling them about the horse Olympics.
Horses.
He's mapping out all the events.
Whew. I mean, it's a whole Facebook community I have right now.
Movement. All right, well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, James Vincent McMorrow joins us.
Don't wait for me, because one day I leave and we will never meet again. But I can't wait on this doorstep forever, even if it makes you feel a little better, because I've got better things to do now. And I'm not afraid to lose you forever. I know that you'll be back sooner or later. I'm not afraid to lose you forever, but I know you are. And I'm not afraid to lose you forever. You wish we spent all our time together. I'm not afraid to lose you forever, but I know you are.
You're listening to Julia Batt. The song is Karma. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Our guest today is James Vincent McMorrow. He's an Irish singer-songwriter who recently released his new album, The Less I Knew. He sat down with our very own Tyler Huckabee to talk about his newfound inspiration, how he's keeping his perspective fresh, and why he's excited to embrace change. Here's part of our conversation. Now, you might have seen the full-length feature in the summer issue of Relevant. Here's part of the conversation from that feature with James Vincent McMorrow.
White birds in motion down by the sea, band on the pavement playing Britney. I never noticed the weight of this song. We stop to listen, I sing along. We sing along, we sing along, we sing along, we sing along and go out late at night. We're not that brave.
Is it hard when you feel like yourself start shifting creatively, growing creatively, maybe even sort of evolving? Do you feel like, well, you have fans, you have a good number of fans who have certain levels of expectations for what they're going to listen to when they listen to a James Vincent McMorrow record? Do you feel a sense of like commitment to them to, well, I can't go too far off of what people expect because that'd be a betrayal or that would be a curveball that people might not be ready for?
It's an interesting question. I think I've always had I would say, looking at it in hindsight, more of a belligerent perspective towards it. In that, not belligerent towards the fan base, to be very clear, belligerent towards the notion of having to live up to an expectation, or the idea that like music should be this very linear, straight thing. That like if I started from a very simple place, playing a guitar, and my first album did quite well based on this premise, this idea that people had about me, and so my sort of belligerent chip on my shoulder attitude was like, well, let me try that expectation and see what happens if I rebuild it. And those things worked for me. You know what I mean? When I made my second record, it obviously did well. Same with the third album. And it was, if people listen to them in isolation, there are different things going on different journeys. But obviously it's part of this overarching arc and this idea that I have about what a musician's journey or an artist's journey or anybody's journey should be. It should, in the same way that you've moved to Paris to take advantage of like this situation that you find yourself in, like as a musician, as anybody. If you're a filmmaker, like, you know, Martin Scorsese hasn't made 40 versions of The Departed. You know what I mean? Like, you make that one movie, like that one thing, and you move on. But within music, there is often this sort of like the audience wants what it wants and they want you to do a thing. I get that. I understand it. But like, it's a weird push and pull, because if I kept giving the same thing over and over again, people will get bored with it. But then equally, some people will get frustrated with the desire to keep pushing and keep moving. So you have to kind of find the balance and the nuance within it, which is a tricky thing because there's not a lot of balance and nuance in life in general anymore.
Sure.
So to try and say like, I want to evolve. I want to push myself while also wanting to bring people along with you and communicate with them that this is a journey that you're going on, that we're all going on together, while also appreciating that the world isn't incredibly nuanced. So you have to sort of find a way to distill it down into something that those people can all appreciate. It's a real mind bender, and it can really like take you down some dark roads. And it has taken me down some dark roads, especially in the last 3-4 years, where I think I got to a point where I was like, how do I rebuild this again? What do I do? Do I rebuild this again, or do I? So, you know, it can be very advantageous and to the idea of being acutely aware of the evolutionary necessity of music, while also it can kind of be a snake eating its own tail, where you sort of find yourself in these strange places.
What a wicked game you play. Make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do. Make me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say. You never felt that way. Thing to do, make me dream of you, and I wanna fall in love.
I think that'd be very difficult for a songwriter, and I'm not a songwriter, so you can correct me on this, but to sort of have the humility to release something that's very personal that you worked on for a long time, and that oftentimes I know is like involves a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get it out there. And for somebody else to take that and for it to mean something to them that may not be what you intended at all. And I'm sure you've heard some interpretations, like you said, that are like in your heart, you might say, that really wasn't what I was going for, but it's still kind of cool that it means something to somebody, even if it's not quite what it meant to you when you wrote it down.
Yeah. If anything, I always like that idea. I always welcomed. It was more when people asked me what stuff was about that I got a bit clammed up, like, because what you just said there was actually probably exponentially more how I saw the thing, where I was like, it's not for me, it's for you. You get what you get from it. You take what you take. If you think I'm thinking about that, like there's that Bob Dylan song, Ballad of a Thin Man, where it was all, when I first heard that song, I remember like Googling it, and there was like a million different interpretations of what it was about. And I was fascinated by that. I was like, oh, and then I would listen to it based on like what I read, and I'd be like, oh no, it's about that. It's about critics, or it was about, I think there was like potential that it was about a relationship that he'd had with a man, and all these different things. And you're just like, it's fascinating to really get into that. And obviously the fact that he's never planted the flag and said, this is what it's about, kind of is what makes it work. So I definitely always aired on that side of the line. Now it's more like when I'm writing the lyric, I want to do it in a way that is like clear-eyed, so that people can read it and get an amount from it, rather than maybe when I aired towards the abstract to probably protect myself a little bit more at certain junctures. Like, and I still have a tendency towards the abstract, but it's trying to, again, understand in the time, is there a more coherent way to say this that gives me what I want as the artist, while also giving people what they want as the listener?
Millions will I know there's Is this what it takes? What it takes to be impossibly great? 'Cause if it is, then I think maybe the less I knew, the better. Please just be kind when I try.
Now that you have kind of found a sense of a little more self-possession with this album, which I think, to be totally candid, I think shows in my listen, at least, to this album. I really enjoyed it, and it felt like each of your albums have, honestly, for me, like a very definitive step, like a shift. You found a new way to say what you want to say and a new way to say it. And I really do admire that. Do you have any, or maybe you don't even think of this way, but do you have any ideas for the future? Like, here's a type of songwriting I'd like to be, or here's a way I'd like to grow. And maybe I'm not there yet. I'm aware of that, but I want to get there. Does that enter into your mind?
I think I'm in a place now where I can see the next stages like being quite consistently similar, where I feel like I've always been searching for like anchor points to jump off of, and I'm not sure if I've ever really had an anchor point that I felt like that's it, that I'm saying something and I'm doing something that feels like I am in control of it in a holistic way rather than a manic way. And right now with this record and this next record that I'm going to release, and I'm working on a bunch of different things at this moment, I'm approaching it with less of a sense of preciousness. I appreciate that music is this thing that the world will decide whether it wants it or not. I think the musical landscape, when there's so much money involved and there's so many like tour dates and so, like there's just, it's a big economy that I'm involved in. It pays for a lot of people, and that comes with an amount of pressure. And also you maybe get into this cycle where you think every song is this like hallowed on a pedestal thing. And it's really not. Music is supposed to be taken off the shelf and like ripped apart and played with. And I don't know if I necessarily appreciated that before, that like it has to be this malleable thing. And so now when I get in the studio, I'm not going in going like, this has to be this, like Sistine Chapel of a thing. It can just be what it wants to be. And within that, the sense of like less preciousness, less nonsense, I guess, around the actual craft of it, the music just feels really like natural to me in a way that it probably didn't before. And I think I feel like less of like that imposter syndrome kicks in, which I always again thought was a good thing because it drives you forward. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, I know that I can do this well. I've always known that I can sing. I've always known that I can write songs. But now it's about more than that. Now it's about just like occupying it in a sense that feels more realistic going forward, so that I can keep going back to the well and keep finding new ways to say things. So.
Second it starts raining. If you're bored, you should say now, before the sky turns gray and we're left underground. We'll have to dig a tunnel to escape. Oh my Lord, just started running like a hurricane. We'll wake you up in the middle of the night, make you laugh, make you cry, make you think about your whole life. Nobody here got that magic anymore. Got lines, I got jokes.
That was James Vincent McMorrow. Make sure to check out our full feature with him and the new issue of Relevant. It is presented for free by World Vision. You can find it at relevantmagazine.com. Just click on the magazine tab. It's right there.
Listens to the songs that nobody said. He's the coolest person I've ever met. Smoking cigarettes in the woods beyond the fence, but they never let us go when we were kids. He's a radio man, living in his van. He's the radio man.
You're listening to Pool Fire. The song is Radio Man. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's Soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. All right, well, we had a great plan for this segment. We had an epic battle that was very timely. And we have run out of time. So we will do that on next week's show. Guys, get ready for it. It's a good one. Epic Battle is coming up next week. But before we wrap up, I do want to thank James Vincent McMorrow for joining us today. You can read, like I just mentioned, you can read the feature that we have with him in the summer issue of Relevant. The entire issue is presented for free by World Vision. You can find it by clicking the magazine tab at relevantmagazine.com. And if you're a Relevant Plus subscriber, you get your ad-free, enhanced, beautifully designed edition. It's available now in your user dashboard. If you aren't a subscriber of Relevant Plus, you should be. It is the best way to experience our content ad-free and early. You get an ad-free early release version of this podcast. You get an exclusive subscriber edition or a subscriber podcast called Relevant Plus Conversations. Each Friday. You also get an enhanced ad-free version of the magazine. You get ad-free reading at relevantmagazine.com and unlimited access to all of our content. It's a great way to experience our stuff, and plans start at just $250 a month. There you go. Go check it out. All the information is right there in the Relevant Plus tab at the website. Also, while you're at the site, make sure to check out Deeper Walk, our weekday devotional series. You can sign up for a Deeper Walk newsletter to get a devotional sent to your inbox first thing every morning, or you can just check out the new post right there in our feed and in the faith section at the website. Deeper Walk is presented by Illumo, and we thank them very much for their support. Go check it out. It's a great way to start your day. Oh, also, if you like all the music you hear on this show, we have a Spotify playlist called Heard on the Relevant Podcast. Just search for it on Spotify. And while you're clicking around on our profile, you might notice that we have a relevant worship playlist, a relevant indie playlist, a hip hop playlist. And we update them all every week. Go check them out if you're a Spotify user. Some good tunes over there. All right. On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Derek Miner.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Someone left the gate open. Horse Olympics have turned tragic.
Relevant Podcast Network.